Hello! So, episode 2 of the Taking Hold Tips and Tricks, something, don't know quite what I'm calling it. First episode, we went over basically just an overarching view of what Taking Hold is, and trying to beat in your heads that to get high scores, you gotta clear the nodes first, and some general rules. But before you worry about getting high scores on the leaderboards, you have to be able to survive a 5-hold standard. So that's what we're gonna work on today, is actually getting the whole way through one. So, a couple things before we get started. First off, H3VR is still in early access, so that means that some of this information could be not so relevant or accurate, completely wrong, or this entire mode could change a couple years down the road depending on what the developer decides to do with it. This has been this way for about a year now, but what I recommend is, if you aren't already, subscribe to Anton Han, the dev of the game, because he does weekly devlogs every Friday at 9 Eastern, and you can follow the development of the game. I'm sure most of you already are there, but if you're not, please go sub to Anton. He is, like, watching the devlogs is half of the fun of being involved in this game. And second off, all this advice and information, this is just all from my experience. I've gotten a ton of feedback in the comments section of the first episode and already have a few things that I want to add down the line. So I really highly suggest checking out the comments section. There was some really good conversation going on about what's right and what's wrong to do. So hopefully together we can just get everybody better at the game, including myself. So, let's get started. We are going to stick with Daring Defaults on Classic Loadout Lewis. Again, we're going to try to get the whole way through a 5-hold standard. We're doing Spawn Lock enabled, so we don't have to worry about ammo management. Our health mode is standard, so we're going to be able to make a few mistakes, but it's important that we know that we learn from those mistakes we make every time we take a hit. AI difficulty, again, I'm playing with the standard one, and I'm going to take my radar off. This is just a score multiplier. If you're still having huge issues surviving, feel free to move these things around. It'll help you out. I just suggest learning how the AI works on the hardest difficulty because it's going to force you to get better a little bit quicker. So yeah, let's hop in.
Uplink successful. Target system detected. Take it.
So we are going to walk through from start to finish 5-hold. And what I am thinking when I'm making my decisions going through it. Taking our health weenie, a second breath of air if so needed, sling locking our melee weapon, and I'm going to start sling locking my actual weapons now as well. Make sure I am helping you guys make good habits. Our hold is going to have 2 SOSIGs in it, and our supply point, which we still have to hit, is going to have 1 to 2. 1 down. Sweeping. Slicing the pie, right? 2 down. We're now clear here. That means there's not going to be anything else in the hallways, just once we get up to the actual supply point here. Okay, we are clear. So, 2-point shotgun roll. We've got a token.
Override token found.
I'm sure we're actually still loaded there. So, for sure, I know that I could live with the AWM. I could get through the first hole with this. The issues I will have getting past that first hole are definitely based around capacity and operating the bolt fast enough. If I want to get a good score, I'm going to need to make sure I have enough rounds in the magazine ready to go to take out up to 2 SOSIGs plus the 3 nodes. We have an optic, but it's quite easy to miss, especially early on if you're not super familiar or if you don't use the virtual stock, which I highly recommend. It could get messy. We could roll that shotgun and make hitting those nodes a bit easier, or we could roll away to a pistol. We can see what our chances are when we gamble. I'm going to do 2-point pistol. I like that. That's disgusting. So, as is H3VR, we get the Bergman Simplex, which fires a garbage round. So, not much stopping power here, but this might be okay for taking out static nodes. Those are some garbage iron sights, too. Perfect for the tutorial. Thank you, Anton. So, the next important thing is our ammo station. We can see what else we got. So, what I'm doing is dropping a new set of magazines on there and stepping away. This will change whenever we hit this magazine button. It's going to swap out ammo for everything that's within the zone that does that. we step away and we don't like the roll that we get to keep what we have spawn locked. So it's a little bit of a different thing if you're playing limited ammo, because you're forced to use what you get. I don't know that the Simplex really has too much else. I'm not really familiar with the additional ammo there. But we got some nice armor piercing. You can see we still have the original rounds in here because we stepped away from that. So a little bit of an upgrade here, and a little bit of disappointment with the Simplex. Moving back to the hold. So we have a very, very CQC hold here. Big stairwell. We have a group spawn down here. There's a spawn up here, and then there was one that spawns out to the right here. So there are only 3 spots that they can come in. We can usually hear them here and here. If we don't hear or see them in a decent amount of time, we know they're coming from the stairs. They take forever to come up that stairwell. I think they spawn real far down, and we are able to go the whole way to the bottom as well. We can get nodes that spawn up here, and most of the time they do spawn here, but you're going to get cursed with 1 or 2 down in the stairwell, which can make things a bit tricky. All right, our cover. We're going to take this half cover back here. Still have some decent sight. Not hearing anything early on, so that means that they're going to be coming from the stairs, and that cover is blocking us. Decent first couple of shots. 1, 2, and we are getting cursed with a 3rd one down there. I am going to swap mags. Try to get a better shot on that. Sounds like our second group is coming from the stairs as well. There's one. Oh, I finished my bolt.
Data extracted.
Super easy first holds.
3 override tokens found. Advance to next system node and take it.
And you rarely have to get to the 3rd wave with the opening one, so nice and easy, good pace. So again, just like the first video, once we clear that first hold, we have to worry about patrols now, so we have to be much more on guard. We're looking at up to 2 in each of the supply points. At some point they do get to 3, but I don't have that memorized. And we increase by 1 in each hold now as well. So we should see 3. So that's Sosik saw me, which means he is going to aggro for a bit. He didn't fire. He's probably going to investigate. You can hear him walking, slapping his meat around. I don't think he's going to pull this corner. So we can just let him de-aggro. He's probably going to path a little bit back to where he was. And that is the big thing, is you want to make sure that you are exploiting the way that they act.
Override token found.
2-point pistol again here. We're not going to worry about that one. Optic, we got a free one with our AWM, so we're not going to touch this. The roll away, actually I could roll that again. I don't know. We're going to go check out the second supply point, and then we'll make a decision from there. Did I reload that? I'm not quite sure. So again, being much more careful with our hallways now. There are some inner paths that they can go through as well, these patrols. The hallways are the big spot. There is our second supply point. We've now alerted some. Oh, got a nice double there. But again, as soon as we know that they've seen us, we have to back off. We do not push anymore. We need to break line of sight. Then once you give them a few seconds, they'll chatter a bit, pop around. He hasn't seen, he has only heard, so he's not going to be quite as aggressive on us. Just curious. We took out 3 down there. That's going to be it for the hold itself. We should only have 2 in here. Still going to clear like there's another. So 1-point break action. A nice thing about any of the 1-point rolls is if you decide to take one and you go back to the recycler, you get that same point back. So you're never going to lose tokens whenever you do this. No matter what gun you roll away, you only get 1 token. These are super nice. Shotgun, we don't have one yet. We're going to check and see if we can get some buckshot instead of this triple hit. Nope. Cannonball. Thanks for that. So we have our triple hit, which is still a decent round. It's not quite as spread happy as some of the others. Yeah, useless to us. Spawn locking's so weird. Sling locking. So, Did we get our token out of here? So, one bit of advice that I got from... We don't need that. Did I do damage to myself there? I did. So, we can hear one of these patrols pushing us quite aggressively, actually. Usually only going to be about 2 of them starting out. So no big deal there. So we now have our 1-point shotgun. We filled that role. This pistol I'm still not super happy with. So we have 4 tokens left. I could go back, roll away in my simplex, and roll another pistol to see what we got. Which I think I'm going to do because I don't really quite care for the loadout I have yet. And there is a bit of a cooldown on the way that the patrols work. We can hear another one in here. There shouldn't be too many on the map at one time early on. If you take them out, it should take them a bit to come back. Alright, so we are going to say goodbye to him. I want to go in for another 2-point. Better. You get a better round out of it. Capacity still isn't the best. It's a big issue we're having. We really got to hope for like an SMG roll next time. That or we're going to have to go early in on an AR. Oh. So, again, he has aggroed against us. He knows we're here. He's going to push for a little while. We know what he's going to do. We have to exploit that. The best thing to do if you can't kill them is just back off immediately. Let them de-aggro. Let them start searching for you. Pop out, take one out. If there's more, just rinse and repeat.
Interfacing with system node. Hold this position.
So, this I'm actually going to hold back here. We're going to stick with this as our primary. 45 doesn't always take these guys out in one shot unless we have hollows. I didn't roll ammo for this, which is a big mistake. But we are much better suited to deal with those static nodes now. Sounds like we still have one stuck back here. Do a quick reload. And they'll be nice and clumsy coming around those corners. Where's our last? I did not check for where those were spawning. I was far too concerned about killing those Sosigs back here. So I lost a lot of time and a decent bit of score on that. Again, we're worrying about surviving right now, not score. But you definitely want to make sure you're checking 3 up there. Second hold. You can see they were aggroed against us. And we don't want them to build up anymore. We have to get aggressive here. If they take over the hallway, you're in a really bad situation. I don't like this because I have no cover on my left. We have plenty of nodes spawning. Second spawn of the second hold should still be static nodes, which are 1 shot each. And we can see the majority of them here. We can see all of them. Taken out. And that's going to be hold 2. Could have done better at the start, but we're still good. I did take a little bit of damage whenever I shot one of the boxes in one of the supply points because of the triple hit. Apparently it bounces quite a good bit. But otherwise, we took no damage from the Sosigs, so... There's a third, so we can now start to see 3 Sosigs. Again, I'm taking my advantageous shots and then I am backing off and waiting for them to come to me. You can hear that we've aggroed another group now back in that direction. There are a couple ways that they could come through that door or back through the end of blue hallway hold. So, one big piece of advice that I learned and I just broke, somebody said in the comments on the last episode, was once you find the override token in a specific point, you can stop destroying the boxes, because if you need to come back later for health before you start the next hold, those boxes will be available for you. If you break open the boxes and the actual health drops, that health will despawn after a short amount of time. So, really good tip. I'm a bad shot. Stupid gas masks. Definitely, we aggroed another group already. So, 5-point semi-auto shotgun. Mag-fed. Okay. We could think about that one. I don't know. We'll see. We are also going to see what we get. We'll do this. So, we get plus P's. Perfect. We now have more punch for our 45. Perfect. And for our shotgun, if I could actually unsling it. Freedom Fetty this time. Love it. So we should be able to start seeing these guys drop in one shot. We still have FMJs, but they should be doing some more damage. So we're going to go check the second supply point. And it looks like we have Cursed Ladder, as I like to call it, for our next hold. You'll definitely learn that you have some holds you care for, and some that are the bane of your existence. So 3-point pistol, we could roll that, but we kind of already have a decent pistol. We're gonna start running into issues where our magazine capacity is really gonna hinder us. So I'm actually curious if we should go roll that mag-fed shotgun to see what we get, because we can get a Saiga or something, which is quite easy to reload. I think it'll fill the role better than this guy too. We'll see what we get. Perfect. Still not the best capacity, but we've definitely upgraded what our shotgun is capable of. We're going to stick with the default rounds here because, again, our ammo spawn point is only giving us Freedom Fetty. I'm going to mix some stuff up here. I could probably roll away this AWM at this point, but I like to hold on to them because it's not causing me any issues to have it. I'm back. Again, I'm actually doing this in a really bad spot. Whenever you are messing with your weapons, please stay out of the hallways. Be safe. Try to be in an actual point. Because all it takes is one Sosig who isn't quite as talkative as the rest, and will ruin your run. Clearing the rest before we engage. Perfect. Another group coming. I'm going to get aggressive here. Alright. I overstayed my welcome a little bit. Don't think they got a shot off on me. So I don't feel like going the whole way around to flank them. Would be a little bit of a safer play. I even was a little bit too aggressive on that corner. So our issue right now, I think, is range, and I should really have rolled that shotgun away. Alright, we'll get him next time. So I'm going to use that AWM. Try and clear some of them to start. We should now have 4 that are hanging out in the hold. 1, 2, 3. With number 4. And we're clear. So, still have one in? We do not. Well, that was close. Take a fresh one, just in case. Right, so now we are set up and good to go. I'm going to unspin real quick. So, Cursed Ladder. Thus got its name because of the way the Sosigs used to act on these ladders. They didn't quite climb them, they just teleported. Boy, they just jumped up there. So if you were holding from that top, you could just get killed real easy from that. They still act kind of goofy on the ladders, but it's not so bad. This is just a pain in the butt hold. I think I shot some footage of this one originally for the first episode, but didn't use it. I like to hold here on the landing. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 entrances to worry about. We don't have a really great weapon to take care of them at range. I mean, we have that AWM, but if we miss a couple of the shots, we're in a bad situation. The good thing about this is pretty much no matter where we hold, we can see all of the nodes all the time. Be aware that there's one that spawns up here in the corner, so if you do hold this area and you think like you're missing one, you gotta check up behind you. It's gonna be the one that's always there. So yeah, we're gonna also rely on the cover really heavily. If we don't see any cover up there, we're gonna have to switch the hold down to here. I've had some advice to hold in this corner, but I really don't like it since the ladder changes. They just get a little bit too aggressive, especially if they've heard you shot. So we'll get moving. No good cover. We're gonna go back here. I think I'm gonna go with the AWM. So they're gonna start coming from separate doorways, the first few. And on this hold, we have one shield and one normal for the first couple waves. Again, we can hear this hallway. Don't know where the other guy is at. I think he's up top. Okay, yeah, he got stuck coming down that ladder and took his time. So, you know, I focused those nodes. We didn't see him. He had the shield, so he does not have range on us. Getting reloaded, taking far too long to do so. We have a better cover situation up here, so I'm gonna move. Should have done that in the middle. He not down? He is. 1, 2, and I think we're gonna get introduced to our first hardened nodes here. Bam. So, hardened. Shotguns are perfect for taking those out. We have a decent barrel length on here, so the spread should keep it nice and easy. Looks like we're getting 2 out of 1 hold at the moment, or 1 door, excuse me. Not sure there what happened. I lied. AWM was a better choice there. Those are buckshot. Weird. Alright. Get you reloaded. You're locked out. Cover again. Staying put. 3 out of 3 separate doors. Reload often. I think we have, what, 5 shots? 5 plus 1? Nothing out of this top door yet. That's the one that's going to get you. There he is. We're focusing on him. He needs to be down before anybody else is. Focusing on getting ready for the next wave as quickly as we can. Didn't need to do that. 2, 3. Okay, we spotted all 3. We're safe from the top. Again, we're using this cover to cut off as much of their sight as we can. And we also see our first swarm. Shotguns make quick work of them. So very glad that I picked this up.
5 override tokens found.
We did not have buckshot.
Advance to next system node and take it.
Previous to rolling this, and we're guaranteed to get buckshot in these, so that was a really good pick. I didn't think that the swarm came out till 4th on this one, but per character, it's a little bit different. Some are a little more lenient, some are a bit tougher. Apparently, 3rd hold, we start to see those already. So, again, I was focusing on blocking the line of sight for as many of the Sosigs as I could during all of that. My back is up against the cover, and when I play in VR at all, I am 100% convincing myself that there is actually something behind me to prevent me from doing that, to the point where I'll almost lean on it sometimes. And as goofy as it sounds, I swear it helps you. I swear, I swear. That was a really dumb move. Because if you convince yourself that's there... Alright, so we're getting surrounded. Not good. We want to de-aggro and see what we can actually do. We have at least 2 in this room over here, and then we winged one of them. I don't think we killed either. Take a quick peek and see. He didn't see me there. I'm gonna take a quick shot out at this guy. Make sure we're not aggroing these ones in the back. Again, we are always in cover, constantly in cover. We are protected. I'm gonna push this with the pistol. I had no business shooting so early there. Alright. And there's a nice line of sight for them coming through this room, so we have to make sure that we're aware of that, crossing past that door. And there's definitely still one alive in here. If not 2. Because we can start to see 3 in the holds. Or the supply points, excuse me. And always check these hallways leading to other ones too, because a good bit of these supply points have a spawn right there. So you'll think the actual room's clear, and bam, right in the hallway there's one. So, token.
Override token found.
Haven't taken any hits. We're gonna let this guy sit for now because we could get health out of him, need be. 6-point battle rifle roll. Not too bad. I'm not really super familiar with what the weapon pulls are in classic loadout this time around. I've been sticking to the wieners through time, operator ori and whatnot. But mostly those are, you're looking at your FALs, your M1s.
Over there.
Awful lot of 7.6251 in there. Again, we're taking our corners nice and easily. We're making sure we're staying loaded the whole way. We have no ammo restrictions to worry about. And I've not been worried about rolling anything else as far as ammunition goes because I've got a really good setup at the moment. I'm going to check these other 2 supply points and make a decision on that battle rifle from here. Battle rifles are really good to have come the 5th hold, because you're going to run into some heavily armored ones, SOSIGs, and if you can't pen them or be very accurate with your shots, you're going to have a hard time. So we just kind of skipped over the SMG bit here. We didn't get a roll for it, which kind of stinks, but we survived. We made do. Okay, he saw me. I can't win that fight. We got to back off. Reloading. I'm going to adjust my loadout to deal with him. Sounds like we have more. Maybe not. Thought we had one more. So we had another 5-point shotgun, and here is our 3-point SMG roll. So we have a decision to make. We could go roll that 6-point battle rifle, but we are probably going to end up with an ammo capacity issue there. We could roll this 3-point SMG, but we're probably going to end up with a penetration issue.
Override token found.
We could roll both. We could recycle and definitely roll both. What do we want to keep? Get rid of him. This AWM's kind of been carrying me at this point, but I think if we get that BR, we could swap that out. We could change that situation. Have another group coming up here. I'm just going to silence them. Maybe. Are they pathing away? They went away. They can live for now. So, oh, and with these things, if you're playing standard or spawn locked ammo, you are always going to have one ammo station and the rest will be rollaways, your recycle stations. If you're playing limited ammo, you're always guaranteed one ammo station, but all the rest can either be a recycle station or a mag duplication station, which you don't need in spawn locked because you make your own magazines. But it's always possible to not get a recycle point in limited ammo mode. So just if you are playing that mode, be aware of that. You'll end up carrying a lot more guns than you think you need. So I think I'm going to drop that sight off and say goodbye to the AWM. We no longer need those shells, not that I needed them at any point, to be honest.
Override token found.
And I am going to roll both. Mass 38, Model 38. Always get that wrong. So we got a bit of an older SMG here. Open bolt, not my favorite. Sights aren't bad. But we're firing standard 9, I'm guessing. Or is this 918? 919, so okay, we would definitely want to check our ammo for this to see if we can get something better. Some plus Ps would be fantastic here. But we're going to go roll that battle rifle and see what we end up with. Did not hear them at all. First guy for sure, but
Over there.
right, don't want that fight. Okay, we are actually gonna bail real hard here. We could have flanked from that ladder, but I'm afraid they're gonna push that too quick. And even if you have 5,000 health, if you're playing on standard, treat it as a one hit. If you get hit once, you've done something wrong, and try to reflect on how you can do better there instead of standing around and continuing to get hit. This whole time, I have been completely unguarded on my right-hand side. Not the best move, but we came out on top there, so that's okay. Let's see what we can roll for him, and we're gonna go get that battle rifle. Alright, so first we'll check on our ammo. Tracers. Not any kind of performance increase there, but we are definitely not as reliant on the iron sights now. So that's actually a nice upgrade to have. Let's see what we get for our battle rifle. Oh, wow. Okay. Model 8. Oh, we have a manually ejected clip here. I'm not sure about ammo for this guy. So we really got kind of borked here. Looks like we got the same rounds. So we have something with high pen. We have replaced what the AWM is doing. Granted, not as powerful of a round, but it's still going to accomplish the same thing. And it's not bolt action. It's semi-auto. Bit of a trade-off. So, up to the hold. Looks like blue hallway? Maybe? Yeah, that's blue hallway. Okay. So, real long engagements. We gotta watch taking that corner, because they're gonna be a spawn right here.
Let's check.
But they do not spawn down on that end. There can be patrols, but you'll usually hear them as I get shot by one by not checking that corner. So we should be seeing like what? This is the fourth hold. We should be seeing 5 enemies in here.
Get a better button. My back.
They love to hang in this corner and not hear when you engage down there. Topping weapons off. This is actually a pretty tricky point. Jeez. I heard them at the last second. Okay, good. So yeah, this is a bit of a tricky point. We're gonna have a spawn coming out of there, and they now come up the ladder, so you're not gonna see them till the last second. We have a spawn from the very far end on the right. We have a spawn from the supply point on the left, and we have a spawn there. You have to keep up with clearing the hallway entirely before the next wave comes. Otherwise, they're gonna overrun you. You're not even gonna be able to peek out because all of those spawn up and down here, including around that corner. So there's a little bit of movement and a good bit of time that needs to be spent aiming for these ones that are further down.
Interfacing with system.
I've been really partial to this spot right here. Gives me nice priority here, cover from the rest of the spawns. We can clear him. We're probably going to see 1 out of 3 doors here. Yep. We've got to watch though, because we are not in a ammo positive situation here. Oh wow, hardened. Did not even check for that. Second one I don't see down here. 2 more, switching to the shotgun. We knew they were coming, but we had the advantage on all of that.
Advancing to next
So we decided to go for the nodes. Big advice.
analyzing system.
When you start the nodes, or the holds, and whenever you destroy the last node on that hold, all of the enemies blow up, if you've been noticing. So if you're in a bad situation, or you're confident that you can do it, it's not a bad idea to get aggressive and go after the nodes, because it'll clear the wave. Granted, you don't get credit for those kills as far as I'm aware. Did not check my rear there. Took a hit. We have a guy from behind here too again. I gotta back up a little bit. They're spawning here quick. Still one in the back.
Encryption neutralized. Advancing to next system layer.
Get everything reloaded. I don't think I got that pistol. Alright, we're already onto the armoreds. He's not down. We've got to concentrate on him. Okay, we heard a death line, so he's gone. Yeah, this would be a good point to break him out just to take that initial heavy armor guy out. But this is not the best situation at all, because that's not a really great round. We're taking tons of hit. Using those tracers helping out a ton here. We got to aim for the neck because we can't pen. We're relying on knocking them over, stunning them, and getting them in the neck or the back of the head. Shotgun, swarm. We didn't load or it fell out. One of the two. We'll deal with it. Wow. Alright. I gotta get spicy here. Whew. One more.
Hold successful. Data extracted. 5 override tokens found.
We got
Advance to next system node.
some sort of loadout this time, didn't we? Alright, we are loaded, I believe. Did we load him? Don't know. Yeah, we need something a lot better than what we got. We've got some pretty rough rolls here. So, 3 more supply points to check. We really got to be careful because now these patrols are going to be more often, they're going to be larger, and they're going to include armored Sosigs. See, we can have up to 4 in the actual supply points now. And those gas masks love to deflect any kind of small, even large calibers. I swear they're invincible. So, the health weenie I like to save until I'm down to like 2,000 or so. We don't need it right away. You hear there's a group back there. Yeah, we're getting surrounded quick, so we got to keep moving at this point. If we don't want to take the fight, we got to run from it. Otherwise, they're going to swarm you, and you're going to be in a really bad situation. Always aware.
Oh, come on.
Always aware of where the holds are and where the supply points are, so when we're navigating, we're not running into one accidentally.
Token found.
Still sounds like we have one tailing us. Absolutely. We've got to deal with them. Probably going to be at least 2 more. Another group. They're going to drop down. We got to be careful here.
Anyone else smell burnt toast? Really burnt.
Did not confirm he was down. Took another shot. Should be able to heal up just fine though. And we have the health weenie, but these we're not going to see in the other characters. They only exist in the classic ones, but you can gamble for 6 points and get a larger array of things. I usually get just completely boned whenever I try to roll. So I don't roll cases. Chat taught me to never roll cases. We're going to hope for a good spawn, otherwise we're going to have to do some creative thinking here to even survive the last hold. Confirming they're down. Again, we can hear it constantly. So many of them.
Override token.
Take both of those. We're up to 5,000 again. Those should do like, what, 20% of your health, I think. Alright, so we have an 8-point semi-auto shotgun. I don't think that could carry us, to be quite honest. It's a nice roll, but it won't carry us to the last hold. We're going to have a lot of armored guys, and if we're stuck with buckshot, not going to help. So I think I'm going to go re-roll the case one and go from there. Hope that we get something useful. Again, there are just constant patrols around. Make sure you are topped off, always ready to fight. Alright, what do we get? So, nade launcher. good in theory. I do not have good luck with them. The 40 mils don't actually pack that much of a punch. Alright, so now we're really starting to get down here because we're down to what 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So we could roll away 1, 2, and I'd be comfortable. I'm going to get rid of this guy no matter what. He's done. He served no purpose for me. I can get rid of that if we end up with a good roll. Another case. Okay. We don't have enough points though. What do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or we need 11. So I have to roll away 2. We've already cleared all of the supply points of the boxes. So we're going to have to rely on... I say I'm going to keep that shotgun and get rid of these. That's going to be a nice high capacity battle rifle at that many points.
Override token found.
I think we're going to be good.
Override token found.
Man. A lot of these rolls are much older than I remember them being. So, Yonka here with the DP-28. What are we firing in this? So it's firing 54 rimmed. So not bad. I have this spawn locked in my left shoulder. We could check for ammo for sure. I'm trying to think what one that was at. I think it was this one down here. Yeah, we have... We're packing a nice punch. And the capacity isn't terrible. We just have a bit of an iffy reload. Bunch more down there. And it's open bolt. Gotta remember it's open bolt. There's our ammo. Let's see what we get. So nothing special here. So we get no favors from the ammo gods. And we have one of the most annoying holds for our last one. By design, I'm sure.
What's going on over here?
I think we've aggroed one out. We usually see a guy up here. Back off. Quick reload. Luckily, this is a chunky enough round that's going to solve a suppression for us right off the bat. We don't really have to hit them. We just got to kind of shoot in the area. This hold sucks. We could take it from the top, but ever since the Sosug's got better at ladders, I don't recommend it. They can sense you up there a lot better now. And that leads to grenades, that leads to them pushing you, and if you're in a bad ammo situation, that's game. Again, staying reloaded the entire time. I did not check for my nodes. I was real close. The next wave had just spawned, but I committed to taking those nodes out and clearing that. We're gonna hold here. We're gonna start to see some heavy armored ones, I think. Might be 2 out of 2. Yep. No, 3 out. No, there it is. Okay. I'm not quite sure. This might only be 3. It is. They're just pushing quick. You gonna reload for me? Yep, 3 out of 3 spawns. With a real quick spawn rate. 1, 2, 3. Again, that 54R just destroying those hardens.
Advancing to next system layer.
So, third, final stage of the 5th hold. Come those armored ones, but we are ready for them. Out of 3 spawns. Spawns should be a little bit slower than the previous wave. They're a little bit more forgiving with these ones. But again, I'm staying ahead by making sure I'm clearing them. You don't want more than those 3 in there. Look, we already let one go. Not so bad because he pushed from the outside, or he stayed outside, but... One spawn there. We're probably going to have 2 swarms to deal with here. Shotgun could help. Or we could try to aim. Still up. 2 more to deal with. I'll take the time to reload to make sure we're ready. And just spam that last one.
Hold successful.
Ah,
Loadout extracted.
55.
5 override tokens found.
Pretty terrible score, actually.
Advance to next system node and take it.
But yeah, so
Returning to interface.
hopefully that'll help a little bit with where I'm at, where I'm positioning, what I'm prioritizing, why I'm making some of the decisions that I'm making while I'm playing a hold. So, after all that, the main points to take away from that are be aware of what you're rolling. It's not always going to work in your favor. The RNG is terrible sometimes. You're going to have some really bad rolls. You just got to kind of go with it and do your best. Hopefully at the end you get a better one. That TP-28 was kind enough to carry us through the final hold quite easily. Make sure that whenever you're engaging the SOSIGs that you're backing off if you're in any kind of disadvantageous situation. You want to use cover, you don't want to expose yourself, and if you're getting hit once, you need to back up. If you're getting hit constantly, you're just obviously out in the open. You need to break that line of sight with those SOSIGs and then deal with them from that point one at a time. So make sure you're positioning yourself well constantly. You always want to have some cover around you. If you're moving through the hallways, your gun is in front of you and you know where you need to go next to get out of that situation if something bad does happen. And yeah, that's about it for this one. The next one, I think I'm going to go a little bit more towards the score side, what I need to do, what you need to do in order to do a little bit better than 88th. Granted, this board has been run to crap and back, and that's actually the first time I've run that. Wow. So, but hopefully this is helpful. Yeah.